Welcome to our channel. Today we have something a little bit different going on. We are at the end of our harvest. Today is actually the last day before our killing frost is going to come, and what we decided to do to offload a bunch of chili specifically was host a chili roast. So in this video I'm kind of going to walk you through how we decided to put this together. This is our second one that we've done. The first one we learned some things, so we wanted to film a little bit about what we're doing this time around. So today for our chili roast, we have about 200 to 250 pounds of chili. Now, if you're from the South and you know all about growing a lot of chili or harvesting chili and putting it up for the winter, that's not that many pounds. But up here in the North, that's a lot of pounds of chili for us and our family to have. So we are glad we get to share it with other people. And to do that, we decided to do a chili roast instead of taking our roaster to the farmer's market, because manning this is a full-time, when it's going, one-person job, if not two people, when you're manning that and then packaging over here. So the first time that we did this, we were roasting actively as everybody was showing up, and with our small chili burner, this is not a big one, it roasts about 10 pounds at a time. And with that small chili burner, we got backed up, and a lot of people started showing up to pick up their chili, and we weren't ready, and then they were waiting, and we felt really bad for not valuing their time as much as we should have. So that's the first thing we learned. So this time we opted to start a little bit ahead of time, and we do have some bags that are cooling out in a cooler, and these are all still fine sitting at room temperature. They are really hot still in these bags, so I'm not worried about any issues happening with that, but we are keeping a really close eye on them, and that was the only reason, you know, food safety was the only reason I didn't really want to roast ahead of time. But we still have all of these tubs of chili, this one and these 4 over here, that we need to roast. So we're going to start roasting again as soon as people start showing up, which will be any minute now. And it's really chilly out today. It's about 40 degrees out. Like I said, we're getting our killing frost tonight. It's going to be about 25 degrees or so, maybe colder, not really sure, but everything's gonna die tonight. So I'm glad we get to do this before the end of the season to enjoy one last little bit of summer harvest. While we're hosting this chili roast, we decided to use this opportunity to have some other things out so that we could hopefully sell a little bit extra in between our farmers market and in between our CSA. So I have everything labeled with how much it will be, and I kind of just put it out for people to either make their own baskets of stuff. I labeled zucchini and stuff. These are pretty simple as far as pricing goes. These were some immature chilies that were selling at a discounted rate. Jalapeno baskets, bell peppers. I have way more bell peppers down in the root cellar, but I only brought up 1 tub of bell peppers for this. Then we have some monster onions that we harvested yesterday. If these don't sell, I'll start drying them, but we have a bunch that we already set up to dry, and I just decided to bring another tub down here in case somebody wanted some onions. Maybe they want to make some chili and some salsa, and we have all the fixins for that. Over here, I decided to put a bunch of our pumpkins and winter squash. So I have them all labeled and all the different varieties and priced, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not really sure. Outside over here, a couple of corn stalks just to kind of round things out a little bit. And if you see the mountains over there, we actually have snow up in them. So the season is definitely coming to an end. It's sad to see when you love gardening so much, but that's what happens, you know, this time of year, especially in Zone 4. Setting this up, how I decided to market it was I put an ad on Facebook Marketplace that said that we're going to do a chili roast. I listed the price, I listed the pounds. The first time we did it, this is something we learned, we just said, tell us how much you want. And people were coming in with 2-pound orders, 3-pound orders, 1-pound orders. And it's like, that is not enough to make it worthwhile. This baggie right here is 1.5 pounds. So this is kind of worth it, but these are 4-pound bags, and that's a lot more worth our time and packaging them and going through this whole process and having somebody drive out here. So we opted to just decide to market them as 4-pound bags for a certain amount of money. And then I told them what day the roast would be on, when pickup would be between 1 to 4, and said, send me your name, how many pounds you would like if you're interested, and I will write you on a list. Wrote them on a list, and then when it came down to the Saturday before, so yesterday, I sent out a reminder message with all of the details, including pickup time, address, the fact that there would be other things here that they could go ahead and purchase if they wanted to, and just some of those details about parking, and then walking up the driveway, as parking is something you really have to consider, and we don't have the best parking here. So we're kind of making it work, but that's something I learned, is just kind of like how to set up the event so that people can come and they can have a really nice flow to it, I guess. And so that we can have customers ready to purchase, because not everybody in Montana wants to buy chili. They don't know about it. It's not cultural up here as it is in other places of the US. And that's just, you know, there's a lot of education that goes into it, but also some people really do know about it and they really do want to get it, and they're so excited to see it happening up here in a northern climate. So what we're gonna do now is, as soon as people start showing up and we start offloading some of these bags that we just finished making, I'll film a little bit more of us using the chili roaster. I have a couple other videos on our channel about chili and growing chili in a northern climate. One where we figured out, could we even do it? And yes, we can. And then another one where we describe this chili burner and how it works for us and our thoughts on it. The first few times we used it, we've learned a little bit more about it. And for us, we definitely now need a bigger one, just if we're gonna be doing these sort of things, because it takes about 6 to 8 minutes to roast a 10-pound batch of chili, and that's without any wind getting in the way. We did decide to also do it in this building, which is another lesson that we learned with roasting the chili. The wind can really mess with you a lot. So being able to roast it inside of a building where it's pretty safe as far as the ceiling height and all of that goes, that was a definite necessity. The first time we hosted one of these chili roasts, well, we did it outside and the wind started blowing and people were waiting a while and there was nothing we could do about it. So in the middle of it all, we moved it in here at the last minute. And just starting in here, that's something that we learned. So I will get back with you guys as soon as we start roasting again.
We're all done for the day. We have a couple bags we roasted up and we have left over. It's not too much, and maybe somebody will come pick it up here still, otherwise we'll use it. And everything went well. We were well prepared and didn't leave anybody standing around waiting for their chili to get roasted today, which was great. Sold about 140 pounds, I believe, of chili, and we got rid of some other things that we already had from the farmer's market. So it was a win-win. Good day. That's that for this video. We'll catch you on the next one.